Okay, I'm here with Billy Raymond, who's just completed his second round in the individual competition at World Equestrian Games. Fantastic round, just the 2 rails down, which in the way things are developing today, that is actually a very, very good result, following on from Scotty Keach's 2, and the team's looking pretty good. Billy, talk us through the round. You saw, it looked like you saw a really good distance to the first fence and just went on from there.
Yeah, it's really important with him to see a nice open distance to the first, for him and for me, because that gets us straight away on that good forward shot, and everything come up the same way after that. Had him in front of my leg and travelling forward, and I think that's important for him. He gets a lot of his power from a bit of momentum. And first fence, second fence, I saw another cracker which made the 8 to the wall a little short for me, but that was good because it was a bit patient, give him time to see it. Probably the hardest, the biggest thing that is tough for him is the combinations, and I had it in my head how I wanted to ride it today, and how I've been riding it back in Weert with Eve, and I reckon I nailed the ride pretty good, and he jumped it unbelievable. Did the 6 afterwards really easy, rolled back to the big orange vertical nice, and then I landed and started to move up to the water, and then I felt I was going to get way too close, and I just paused for a moment, and then I ended up too far away. And I've been doing a lot of work on accelerator and brakes, and when I just paused for a moment, he really backed off, and I was a bit off it, and I think he maybe just caught the tape.
That water's been riding tough all day. A lot of people are really struggling to get to the base.
Yeah, going away from home, got that white wall in front, and the ox are behind. The riders are mindful of the ox are behind, so you don't want to override the water too much. And it's full width, I believe. I think it's 4 metres.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty real water. And I thought I might lose him a bit down that line. I thought he might get a bit wild, but the 5 ended up good for me, landing a little bit short. And then after that, I just took a moment, relaxed a little bit, get him back together, and then he jumped that next line that's also been really tough quite well. That's short, really short 4, especially after you gallop up that line. And then I got that done, and then rolled back.
I saw one horse go down there in 3 strides before.
Did you? Yeah.
I don't know if it was intentional, but it did.
Yeah, I reckon if it was a jump-off class, you'd see the old one do that. And then, I saw a really good shot back off the turn to the water tray, real false ground line. The water tray's behind the front, and it's dug into the ground. And funny coloured rail, so a little bit hard to judge. So you want to catch a good forward shot to that. And I knew I got quite a few of those good forward shots, and I felt like he was getting a little bit flat. And I would love to have sat him back before the triple bar and got him a little bit back in the air again. But the distance down to that blue double, I wanted to catch the triple bar moving, and then sit back and wait. I just didn't get him back enough. And he'd also probably lost a little bit of his puff to sit himself back. But anyway, jumped the ox fantastic and let me ride that last line really good as well.
Do you think the heat took a bit out of him? It's very
by
hot
the
now.
end of that course, I mean, I've seen a lot of horses early on today. They looked like they were buggered already to me, by halfway round. I think my horse, he did pretty well right up to there. I think by there he was losing a little bit of puff.
He's really lifted since he's left Australia. I've got to say at home, I'm sure no one has ever doubted his quality, but some people have been questioning, has he got the scope to jump a World Games?
Sure.
You're proved now that he definitely has.
He's learned a lot about his scope in the training we've been doing. We've learned a lot about helping horses find more scope. He's always had a stride though, so that's a big thing for a horse that's not such a big horse. Scope, he didn't have any back rails.
And I was saying to Kermo before how good it is that we've had one stud alone in Australia that's produced 2 horses on the team and almost 3. That's a real credit to the breeding system at home now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a credit to everybody in Australia that's trying really hard to do a good job with the breeding, and starting to supply us with horses, and that's what we need. It's hard to do it yourself, and everybody's got to work together when you get to things like this.
And the other thing I've got to say is you guys look fantastic in their team outfit. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the support from Australia has been massive. Not only everybody that I can tell are here in the stands from the minute I walk through the gate, but from MC for all our riding gear, also Pip and Sue Middleton for all the stable drapes and rugs, and all our kit. I think our team looks really professional, and when you come to these things, you feel a little bit like an underdog, I guess, and so it's nice to come here looking professional, and it helps you feel professional. The support from the people in the stands, and from Sue, and from the Miles family, from MC, Yeah. Well,
mate, I think you guys have given Australian show jumping real kudos on the world stage now, so congratulations. Whatever happens from here, well done.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.